What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? What's up? Welcome to the gentleman's panel. Uh, you guys, let me see who all's in here. Hey, just Lynn T, Janice, Becca, J7730. Becca, hey, what's up? I saw you were the first person over here, Becca. Thank you guys for coming on. You guys, we're ready to start. We're going to address some current events that's going on. See how's everyone doing in this time of quarantine as well. But guys, without much further delay, we bring the official Kingpin.
Okay, oh, period. What's good, everybody? It's the official Kingpin, all the way from the home of the Lituation.
All right. The maestro of politics.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. I had to, make my way from Cap Hill to come to the Sun Tribe and hang out with you guys.
We welcome you over here in the Sun Tribe. We'll be smoking the pipe later after the show.
All right.
Next, last but not least, the elder of the group that has been on YouTube since the Underground Railroad. Brother Jay.
What's up? I'm in Florida, so I got my mask on.
Okay.
So what's up, everybody? I'm bringing you greetings from the Space Coast, and I'm in Florida. And I heard what you said, Rebel, and you ain't too far from me. Don't play. As he drinks his check soda. Come on, check. Come through.
Check.
All my Florida people, check.
I've never heard of that, Jay. Is it only exclusively in Florida?
The southern states, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, but people from Florida know about this. Now, they did change the check. The check is a little bit less pronounced than it used to be, but it's right on the side. Huh?
Is the taste still the same? You know how
it's still the same.
Okay.
Different can, but same soda. Yeah.
Okay. What's been going on with you, Cap, this week?
This week, pretty much nothing. Just kind of buckling down a little bit. Started picking up, but then, of course, with all of the uprise and uptick, everybody kind of scaled it back a little bit just to be on the safe side here. So, nothing much.
Okay. Kingpin, have you been keeping it lit? What's been going on with you?
I'm keeping it lit, but I'm over it. Governor Gavin Newsom has shut down California again. And, this whole shutdown has been affecting me in a way to where I have to rethink my organization and my brand and kind of make, my business recession proof, because that's my biggest concern right now. How can I make it through this recession, make it out on top?
Yeah, a lot of people are really questioning and wondering what their next moves are, because with this spike here in Texas, people are doubling down. It's like, okay, are we going back into the stage before that we were not going anywhere in the companies because the clubs are closed back down.
Right. In the bars.
Yeah. So it's definitely, we should have stayed closed, I feel, but it was a money thing. The president, we're numbers to him anyway. We're not people, so we're just dollar signs, and to his big business owning partners, friends. But guys, what's been going on lately. What I've been watching is this whole debacle with this Jada and August Alsina and Will Smith. Guys, what's your take on that? When Jada said, when she did her red table talk and exposed herself, she was saying she was in an entanglement, and Will was like, call it what it is. Let's not dance around. But What do you guys think? I'm gonna ask you first, King.
I think that the whole thing is very interesting. It's very interesting, and I'm here for it. I'm here. It's better than the stories. You know, the stories that your grandparents used to watch back in the day. This is good. Okay, this is good TV. Okay, and the only reason Will is upset is because the people are here for it. Like, this is bigger than his last movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, this has made more headlines, has caused more controversy and conversation than his last movie. So I'm here for it. Period. 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 I don't think that it's all true, but I think that I'm all here for the mess. Period.
Okay. Jay, what about you? What you think?
Well, first of all, what kind of entanglement is that? That's deep. You know, this new word she's using, entanglement.
Hair salon.
Okay, and then what kind of healing was she giving the man? She said she was trying to just about to help boo. So what was you healing him with? Okay, so I mean, was it sexual healing? Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. I mean, so I just thought it was very interesting. I just think that Will didn't have an issue with it until it became public from this other dude, and it was 4 years ago. But I noticed he said that he was through with her. So it seemed like it was a very contentious time. And now the man brought it back up, and it doesn't really open those old wounds again. And then I kind of wonder if this is not to stay relevant. Like King Payne said, his last movies weren't all that great, but this thing is getting traction.
What was his last movie, Jay? What was his last?
I can't even tell you.
Genesis, I think it's Genesis or Gemini.
I ain't gonna see it. See, okay. But I want to go see this. Yeah, I saw this Red Table though.
That's how you know his last movie was trash, because you literally know all Will's movies. Okay, like they're all good, and his last was just trash.
This is giving them some traction. So even though it don't look good, then the Hollywood portion saying this is getting good ratings, and is something gonna come out of this? Are they gonna start a marriage counseling? Or I mean, because it's getting a lot of viewers, and that's what counts in Hollywood. That's what counts in the industry. Eyes on the screen, and I just think that it's going to be very interesting. But Will didn't look like he was there for it, though. He looked like he was just smiling through that. He was not happy at all. It looked like he was just doing this thing.
You can read all in his face. His face, his smile was there, but that tension in his face was just.
It was there. I saw it.
But captivating. What's your stance on that?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's entertaining. I mean, I applaud the Smiths for keeping all of this under wraps for so long. Like, we never. I mean, you started recently hearing glimpses of things of this nature kind of coming from their camp, but before then, like, you didn't hear a peep, nothing. So I commend them on that. But I will say I don't. The entanglement word was funny to be used, but you could see, like you were saying, in Will's face, that one, I don't think it just happened 4 years ago. I think this was something ongoing as even recently, and maybe he didn't know to the level or extent of their relationship. And he probably just found that out because he looked like he was just finished crying his eyes out, drinking the night before. Like, he looked bad. He did not look good. I mean, he was trying to play like, I'm here for it. But even when she said entanglement or a situation, he was like, what? He was like, no. You're going to say what it was. You know what I'm saying? Lightly he said it, but you could hear that, no, we're not going to play games. We're not going to mix words. The same way you come at people on your show for, tell what really happened. What was the story? He came at her. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's good TV. His last couple films like Gemini Man and countless others really weren't that big hitters in the box office. But You know, August Alsina, remember, wasn't he going blind or something, or like really dealing with some health issues?
He had a couple of health issues he was dealing with. I
Right.
wasn't
But
aware
she was healing him. She was healing him.
Well, I mean, from what she said, even in the interview, that she, you know, they connected him with the right people so he can get the right help. So while he was getting healing, he was thanking her about healing her. Is that what they were doing?
I don't know.
Okay.
So, I don't know, but it was interesting nonetheless.
But you could also see just talking. It was like, I'm one of those people, you ask me something, I'm a straight shooter.
Mhm.
I can get irritated if a person dance around a question. If you dance it around, I'm gonna be like, okay, let's cut the BS. Give me a straight.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. I understood his moment of frustration when she was like, "Well, we just got into a little entanglement." Like, no, you did the do. But what got me out of this whole interview, what got me was when he was like, "I'm gonna get you back," and she was like, "Yeah, okay, you're right." And then she was like, "No, wait a minute, you had already gotten me back." And he was like, "Yeah, I did. Yeah, so I guess we about even." So that part, I was kind of like, "What you mean?"
Because Will has been doing his thing, but you see, he's made them sign
Allegedly.
those NDAs. What is it?
Don't think that Will is not sowing his world. Okay, Will is getting around to just Will's better. He's doing a better job at managing his hoes. Okay, they all speaking out.
That was but all this Alcina, I can't stand a person that has to just publicize who they've been with like that. It was like,
well, you do when your feelings is hurt. That's the problem. People don't understand. If you're gonna play the side role, then play the side role well.
Exactly.
That means you don't get caught up in your feelings. And what
exactly.
is that
And I think that's the thing.
Caught up in his feelings, thinking that she was going to leave Will. They have created a corporation. That's not something you just walk away from like do. Even Wendy Williams stuck with her cheating ass man. He had a whole baby and another life and the wife down the street. So I mean, like,
yeah,
it's not that easy. Like it's really not that easy. And then you like, what kind of career do you have at this point? What you gonna do? Live off her money? She thought about that too. After she got, after she bust a couple, she started thinking, well, damn, if I do go with him, what kind of life will I have? We be living.
Exactly. He ain't even making music no more.
Right. He's
not even popping no more.
Right.
No,
right.
And she's not gonna have. And if she was to divorce him, she's not gonna have the type of money that she has right now. So.
And he's gonna be wanting some babies, and I don't think Jada is pushing out any more kids.
Not after all the cuts and plastic things that she didn't have done. Okay, on period. Jada,
her mama still look good.
Yeah, her mother looks great. Her mother looks great.
But Jada is barely sticking and moving. Okay. I heard Jada had to go get a vaginal rejuvenation.
That brings me to the next question.
Well, she had to. I'm sure she had to. He was beating that thing up. She had to get it.
But that's the whole reason I think
August is approaching. August is approaching.
August is trash because I feel like he's trash for speaking out because it's a marriage involved and it's a family. It's black marriage, it's black family, and then like, what is the purpose of you speaking out? The only thing that I can see that him gaining from this is Jada, which will be breaking up a black family and a black marriage. Not just any black family, a black family that is revered amongst the black community. Like they're like the Obamas of Hollywood.
Right.
Yeah, and we gotta realize too that Will was married and Jada. Yeah, that was an interesting scenario with Will.
But she wasn't a home wrecker though, Jay. She wasn't a home wrecker. Will was he was forthcoming with his wife. He was like, "This is how I feel. I'm not in love with you." I think the woman and Jada are good friends now. They're all they go on vacations together.
Okay.
But that was going to bring me to this next question. Is there a double standard for infidelity? And Jay?
I think there is. I think there's a double standard. Men can do it. Girl, you need to accept that man back. He's a good man. He's a good man, or or, you know, give them another chance, or, you know, men will be men. But when a woman does it, then she's dirty, she's sleazy, you know, you hear all kind of bad things. And this is what we do in society. We tell our boys to go sow their oats until they're ready, but yet we want our girls to be pure. And I think it's a double standard, and I think it's a double standard in marriage as well. So, you know, I do think there is a double standard.
Yeah. Cap.
Yeah, I agree. There is a double standard. I told this story yesterday on Conscious TV's panel that I was on. But like my brother was engaged, and before he got engaged, he was cheating like nobody's business. And I mean, I grew up with the man, so I know. And the one time I guess she got total frustrated, like she was like done, had enough, and she cheated on him. You would have swore out like his whole world ended. This man was like so broken, and I was just like, dude, are you really sitting over here really acting out a fool as much as you have done? Like seriously? No, man, she broke my heart. She took it there. She went there. Well, what do you expect her to do after all the stuff you put her through? So it's a huge double standard. Men are applauded and encouraged to have a wife, a girlfriend, a thing on the side, like it's something fun to do. And as long as you're taking care of home and taking care of the wife, it don't matter if you have, you know, girlfriends and things on the side. And it's absolutely crazy. You know, and I think it's definitely unfair, because if a woman does it, then it's, oh, you know, she's a tramp, she's a this, she's a that, she's all these, a woman of the evening, all these other different terms, which is, you know, definitely wrong.
Right. And I agree with you on that. King?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's definitely a double standard. Like, men cannot take women cheating on them, and women, it seems like they love dog men. They love the dogs. They love to be dogged out. You know, time after time, women stick by their cheating men. You know what I'm saying? But if a woman cheats on a man, he gonna drop her fastest, the S word, okay, on period. Okay. Men can't take women cheating, okay? So there's definitely a double standard there. But I just feel like, you know, women need to step it up a little bit, because you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all just accept it. It seems like they accept anything. Like,
but there are men that do that as well, which is the thing. Yeah.
No, I would have to disagree a little bit. I think some of it has to do with men and women and how we connect to each other differently. Women are more emotional, and when they connect on a different level than men, especially sometimes even with sex. Sex can be just sex for men. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could just be, oh, I just needed to get this out, and she was there and I did it, and that's it. Women, it's more of a emotional, mental connection.
And I do think that a lot of times it's about people's upbringing. If they witnessed a father, look at Lil Boosie taking his sons to go get sucked up by some grown woman. Now, could a woman have taken her daughter to get something like that done? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right? Yeah.
That proved that he was a man, because what if some of those boys were gay and you're making them do this? You know, and I think that right there is contributing to toxic masculinity. You know, the little boys, you know, they can do no wrong. And in Black families, a lot of times the boys are given a free pass. They're all, you know, the mother's taking up for her son. No woman is good enough for your son. But how about your son is always locked up in jail and he beats on his baby mama? Do you think he's a prize to some woman out there?
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that, brother, right, because that's how Michael Sam's father did when they were in Texas, and he would take his boys across the border to those prostitutes across the border. And it traumatized him, and of course he resents his father, because of that. And truth be told, he was gay. So I just thought that's interesting because people have done that. So yeah.
You're absolutely right, Rebel. Like, why are we not setting a better example for our Black men? Like, I was just hanging out with one of my homeboys the other day, and literally, he has like 4 different girlfriends, 3 different baby mamas, and all the stuff. And I be like wondering, how does he make this all work? You know what I'm saying? Because he sees them all every day, and all of them think that he's the one. And so I was hanging out with him the other day. And I pull up to his mother's house, and I'm at his mother's house, and he lives at his mother's house with one of his baby moms, right? So I pull up. I guess the main baby mama's not there, and he's at the house with the other baby mama, and his sister is there. And I'm just like, oh, so the family is involved too. Like, why? And it's his female, relatives that are like encouraging this behavior. And I'm just like, why is no one saying like that's cool to you guys? Like, that's like, he has 3 different families, and you guys all encourage the activity. Like,
yeah. And it's even with the people saying, like, I always ask my female friends this. You see your brothers and your cousins. Imagine if you're thinking about how good of a man they are, imagine your daughter bringing home a man just like your brothers or your cousins. Put yourself in the position. If she was to bring a man home that emulated behaviors, would you be accepted? Right. Would you want her to have that type of a baby daddy? Would you want her to be another baby mama on his list?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, guys. That
brings look like.
What'd you say, Pete?
Right. What it look like?
But that's the thing. But that's the thing. A lot of times
that's the problem.
Right.
That's the problem. People are so aesthetically inclined to take these folk, but just because it look good, that doesn't mean it's good.
Right. Just because it's dragging the floor don't mean that it's worth all that it comes with.
I would rather have someone who's average that's going to be good for me than someone who looks great and, not. Yeah. So I just think that we just have to look a little deeper than just,
Well, the reality is everybody's not here for the nice guy or the cookie cutter kind of square guy. Everybody wants somebody who's a little rough around the edges somewhere because it makes them feel what? I don't know.
Cut.
It makes them feel what?
Cut. Yes, honey.
So you want to feel like a woman.
That's what he said. I was trying to figure out. Okay.
So basically, you're saying you want to feel like a woman. Okay.
But a bad boy for me is a temporary distraction at best. That's all it is. You don't marry the bad boys.
Every bad B needs a bad D. Did I say that right? A bad
D. Because the bad D, what kind? Bad D can mean quite a few different things.
Here you go, Captivated. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Okay. Somehow we always end up in your name. Okay.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Nobody was even talking about your D.
No, you don't. No, I was no. First of all, I wasn't even talking about my own peen. You said bad D, and I just said, well, usually the D is good. That's all I was saying. That's why the situations occur. So it ain't because it's bad.
Yeah. Question 3.
Please. Moving right along. Thank you.
Okay, y'all. During this period of quarantining, and just definitely practicing social distancing, did you ever wish to have settled down before COVID hit? Do you wish to settle down now? How is dating during COVID? Cap.
You need to come to me first. Dating during COVID is fine. First, to answer your first part of the question, do I wish I would have settled down before COVID? No, not really. I am a get to know type of guy, so this is perfectly fine for me because it you have to ask the questions. You really have to really get deep down and and converse to really, moving forward. It ain't no quick like, okay, I'll come next weekend, come visit you so we could go hang out, get something to eat, and then you wind up, messing around or whatever, and then it skyrockets from there. So this, like, kind of, you take a step back and you really get to probe and, really feel the person out if that's the person that you want to be with. So I don't mind the COVID situation, personally speaking.
I'm sure you would definitely be probing. King.
Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Because with all this COVID stuff going on, I'm really
doing it
glad that the only person I have to worry about is myself. Okay, especially with the type of men and things that I be dealing with and the stuff that I be having going on. Like right now, the most important person to me, my priority is myself, and I'm really excited about the person that I'm growing into, and
that's good.
The person that I'm becoming, because you know what I'm saying? There was a time
shrinking violet.
What was that?
I said you've always been our residential shrinking violet on the panel, but you said you're growing into yourself more.
Yes. I am growing into myself more, and I'm making me the priority. See, a lot of people reach out to me and they depend on me. You know what I'm saying? To help them meet their goals, and I realized that, okay, I have goals that I need to meet. Who's here helping me? So I stopped helping people, okay, and I start focusing. Well, I still do things, but I start focusing on me first. Like when I am done doing me, I'll reach out, okay, but not a moment sooner. Period. Okay. Because I was putting myself on the back burner for a long time, and I don't got time for that no more. Okay, period.
Hello, Jay.
Well, I don't have that issue because my relationship was established before COVID. So,
congratulations.
Yeah.
We all know.
Well, you asked the question, so
okay,
I'm giving you the answer.
Was that your man in the background that I see?
No, I'm in Florida, so I'm at relatives. So
I see a man back there. Is he like built? Did he have a shirt on?
But this pro-COVID though, I would definitely have a thermometer and be checking temperatures and stuff. I just think it's a little difficult now because, restaurants are closed. You have to be so careful. Distancing is there. So, yeah, I think you just have to be very careful, but I'm glad that the relationship was established before COVID.
I think even the dating, for me, there's no rush. It's like just date yourself right now. Take that time out to, like Captivate, King Payne was saying, as far as even just the me time, and just definitely, a lot of people have always been accustomed to having others around them. This is time for you to really discover who you are. Discover that you don't have to have people validate you. And right now, a lot of people, I've talked to a few people that are hating it right now, but I think this is definitely a time for, self-evaluating. But next question I was going to ask you guys, I had it up here. Hold on.
Now Pastor's got a man at home.
Okay, guys, you're dating. Okay, the next question, you're dating someone for 6 months and you find out they have been linked and watching you on your home cameras. Deal breaker, why or why not? King Payne.
And it's absolutely a deal breaker. Absolutely, you're a weirdo. Like, how did you do that? Like, what kind of stuff are you on, and how did you have that much time to be watching everything that I do?
Okay.
It's definitely a deal breaker. Like, what was you looking for?
Yeah.
Now you should have been here instead of watching them cameras, okay? And then maybe we probably have something going on, okay? But since you want to be a creep, a voyeur, weirdo, creep, then I can't do it. That's weird. How'd you do that? How'd you do that?
Yeah, Jay.
You know, it is absolute an invasion of privacy. And I think that, you know, in 6 months, so, you know, you get to know people, but that's an invasion of privacy. I wouldn't do it. And I wouldn't want anyone to do that to me. And I'm like King Payne, it kind of is on that stalker type feel. And why? What's your whole purpose? And yeah, that's a little weird. So that's a deal breaker because I'm not going to invade anyone's privacy. I don't want them to invade mine. You know, we get together, we learn each other, we talk, and if something is not right, it'll reveal itself. I just think that's real creepy to me.
Okay, captivating.
Two things. First, I'm gonna say hopefully you enjoyed the video shows that you was watching, because when you left and I'm watching Pornhub and handling my business, hope you enjoyed that. Secondly, I'm out of there because obviously you don't trust me, or you have some trust issues that you need to deal with, and you can work them out by yourself on a sofa with a licensed person to talk to, because I'm not doing it.
You know, even just Hill, I don't even want you trying to go through my phone, let alone watch me on the camera. You know, it's like, to me, it's a privacy violation. And for someone like that, for someone to do something like that, that to me gives me single white female tendencies, the crush, a thin line between love and hate. All is
But
like,
there's always a thin line between love and hate.
But
especially when you're dealing with
you
Trey.
mean loving crazy? That's loving crazy. That ain't no loving hate. That's loving
And
crazy.
how do I know that you're not trying to break into the house or see when I'm going in? I mean, it's a lot
Yeah,
of
to see
implications behind it.
who else I'm not inviting. If I'm saying, oh, you know, I had a long day at work, I'm asleep, you sitting up there like, oh, you are asleep, but your best friend came through, this one came through, that one came through. Like, that's too much. You don't trust me, and so I am exiting stage left, because if we don't have some, and granted, in the beginning of the relationship, you don't give everybody your whole trust, you know, but you do give them something. But if you don't trust me at all, then we don't need to be. And I don't need to waste your time. You don't need to waste my time. So I'm out.
And you know what, you guys count yourselves as lucky, because if y'all had stuff as good as mine, you know, men are always running behind me trying to get it. So I definitely have to be mindful of who I do something with, because they act crazy like that. So, you know,
Is that why Houston is getting
Is that what it is?
not a lot.
Is that why Houston is
Look,
getting
the couple that
overpopulated?
I've had, they've been
Dang,
crazy.
Rebel. Gosh.
They've been crazy. They call me
Well,
Sunshine.
I want to give a shout out to
Rebel
Conscious
Sun.
TV
Sunshine
too, Rebel,
Harbor
because
Nights.
he's on.
What'd you say, Jay?
Hey, Conscious TV, I want to give him a shout out. He's on. He was on last week. So yeah, Conscious TV.
Hey,
You know, I know you haven't had those issues with people stalking you, but the thing is, how did you get in my camera, and why are you doing it?
Yeah,
And again, so
that's
you know,
weird.
I'm asking all of those questions. Why are you going through all of that time and effort to do that?
That's too many
Yeah.
questions. I ain't asking all that. All right.
Yeah, because that's just crazy that you did it anyway. If I catch you even picking my phone up and I walk up on you strolling through my phone, it's a nope.
And 6
Yeah, it
months.
seems like
Lord
that happens
knows
a lot on YouTube too.
But it's been 6 months.
Mm.
Lord knows how long he was doing it. Like, are you crazy? Like, are you serious? He could have been doing it from day one.
Mm.
You went
Mm.
out when I
Conscious
out for
Rolling
dinner or
through phones and stuff. Yeah.
right. He done
Uh,
into something. No thanks. You get a degree
Okay.
in IT and make it useful. That's all I said.
Okay.
Right,
Make
okay.
it work.
And look, okay, baby. Yo, guys, what do y'all think about this recent remark that 50 Cent made? 50 Cent made a remark. he says angry black women. There are angry black women, and he prefers exotic women. So when he says exotic women, Jay, what do you think he's talking about? What do you think he means?
I don't know, because I know exotic black women. So what I know exotic black women, and you know what? I think 50 Cent is saying, I want a woman who does what I want sexually and asks no questions. I want a woman who doesn't challenge me. I want someone, because black women, they've supported black men. We had to go through stuff with us, but they just don't take mess, And I just think that these weaker black men, and I'm not saying white black men who date people out of their race are weaker, but when you date them to say, I only date this because of that, then there's some problems there. And I think there's some problems with 50 Cent. And, you can't generalize all black women because you haven't dated all black women. And I don't think that's a smart statement. And I think exotic women mean non-black women who will just come to the whim of my every sexual want and desire and not ask questions and not hold me accountable. It's really saying non-black women, but I know black women that are exotic too, but they're not going to take a whole lot of crap.
Mm-hmm. I don't think so. I don't think that 50 Cent is talking about black women, because from my knowledge, from following him on social media and meeting him in real life, all he dates is black women. All I've seen him date is black women. His current girlfriend is black. I think what he's mean when he says exotic, I mean that he doesn't want to date the typical angry black woman. He wants something different. It almost seems that, for black women, a lot of times they get put in this box, and the angry black woman box, and I feel like when he says exotic, I think he means something like foreign, like different, not like foreign as in the person, like ethnicity wise, but different from what he's used to, because maybe
he needs to go and go somewhere else. Maybe he's not finding them in the right places, but there are black women who are not placed in a box. There are some black women.
What they refer to, and I think that's what he's referring. And that's what he's referring to when he says exotic. He's referring to the black women that aren't in that box. In his eyes.
I get that in that aspect, but at the same time, let's stop playing the game. The reason why you cannot tolerate a regular average black woman that you say you're looking for an exotic black woman is because of the same thing he perpetrates. When do we stop the cycle of the man, impregnating the woman, being there around for a while, then disappearing and leaving? So that is the reason why you have a lot of quote unquote angry black women. They aren't angry. It's because they have to deal with everything. They have to raise the children. They have to do all this, and they're doing it by themselves while you sitting around, slinging your dick around to anybody who'll catch it until you decide you're ready to settle down with someone. By that time, when you're ready to settle down, the kids that you done spread around are grown, right? And then you want to try and build a relationship with them because the mother is not in the picture. But that's not the case. The case is what it is. So until these men start being men and take responsibility for their actions and, either decide, hey, you know what? I really just want to fling with you. I don't want to have no kids with you, but we can do this safely and move on about their business, instead of thinking it makes you more of a man to plant your seed everywhere and watch which one grows. I just think it's ridiculous. It really is.
And what do you mean by exotic? I mean, you can have a doctor. That's not typical. A lawyer, not typical. I know a friend right now. She works for NASCAR, and
I think exotic
is in the pit crew.
Well, I think exotic was code word just for, like we said, the angry black woman, the woman that would normally be, at the concert, nobody that would be in the circles that he's in right now. The circles he's in right now, the black women he sees are models. They are, somewhat very professional.
Exotic.
Instead, exotic as a code word for not. I don't think it's necessarily not black.
Look, for me, when he said exotic, it was something other than what you would think of as black. Something
why don't you just say I would like an exotic woman? Why do you have to put the dig in at the black woman in the whole statement? Why do you have to even put it in there? So just say I want someone different, someone exotic, without even bringing a black woman into it. Because when you bring the black woman into it, and then you said you want some exotic, makes it sound like the black woman is an exotic.
But are we not surprised? Black women are always getting the low level of the
short end of the stick. Yes.
At this point, what all it does is promote exactly what I'm saying. That's all he's doing is promoting exactly what he's saying. So now, younger men, these teenage boys right now, that's all they're looking for. They're looking for the girl who has the white father and the black mama, or vice versa.
With the long hair.
With the the curly to long hair, the mixture. It's like, no, I don't want nobody just, your parents is who they are and they just regular. No.
They don't want anyone that looks like their mother.
Right. They want, got to be mixed with something. And that's ridiculous. And again, we go right back into, and I know people get frustrated and I'll be always talking about colorism and things of that nature because it exists. And things like this keeps perpetrating the same cycle. And we have to start taking responsibility and cutting it off and just really calling it out and not just saying, well, that's a sign of success and status. For who?
Mm-hmm.
For who?
And even when they come on, I think that it's evident when I see like the residents, the doctors that come to the hospital, when they finish with all of their fellowshipping, their residents, they go and get an Asian wife or a white wife, but they had a black girlfriend all through college.
That helped them through all this.
Helped them studying late at night, probably had a baby mama when they was right in college, but then you go get a white woman or something like a Kardashian or some type of a culture vulture, and you think that it's almost like a status. Like you've reached the status, so now you're getting the trophy. The trophy is other than black.
But then this is the double standard. They'll get mad with a black woman dating a white man.
Right.
They take that personal.
Black women, I've seen this. Black women, a lot of times, they downplay what they want. They don't. A woman, and I know nurses that have gotten they become a nurse anesthetist. That's like the supervisor at CVS, because they wanted a black man that was working. It was like black women are reluctant to date other races a lot of times. They are saying, I want a brother. I want a black man. Black men, on the other hand, again, when they get to a certain level, they feel like it's almost like an acceptance thing. Now I have to get the white woman. I have to get something that looks. If you're not white, you better be damn near the white. You have to be, and if you're dark skinned, you're gonna have to be something that's like a Latino Asian mix of some sort, because you're feeling that black to you is just too plain, and it's not. It's too low level. And that's just how I feel about it. And over here in the chat. You guys had anything else to add to that?
No, I think you covered it all. Like I said, I think it's a double standard though. If a black woman date a white man, brothers be getting mad and all out of sort. But but when they do it, it's okay.
Aren't we? And when you think about it, all black people in the U.S. now that came over during time, we're all mixed anyway. So what is exotic? It's like
submissive, long hair, looking like some from somewhere else, and again, she'll let me pull her hair. You ain't pulling most of these black women's hair Okay, they don't spend $120 to do it, and I'll be damned if you gonna pull my hair. Okay, amen. I'm trying to look good for you.
Guys, so this other topic is not even about relationships. It's kind of along the lines of relationships that you may have had, or people that may have perceived you to have these relationships. Do you think it's been hard to carve out a niche on YouTube apart from others that may have introduced you to YouTube? Do you think it's been hard to have your own identity on YouTube apart from maybe a person to introduce you? Maybe they may feel that you had an affiliation with a group or a person. Jay?
You know, I think we can't make people's problems our problems. And I really feel that you have to do what you think is right. I have had friends and affiliations on YouTube, but they were real friends, if I've called them that, and they know who they are. I think sometimes that people want to put you in a place where you're no longer at. YouTube is entertainment, and you know, and you evolve. And I think that if you know that, then you're fine. It's when you don't know that, that's when you have a problem. And I think that you need to know who you are, and that you were someone before YouTube. You're gonna be somebody after YouTube, and people don't really know the personal lives. And so I think sometimes it can be hard because of the people's mindset, but people who know better, no, I can't attribute certain shows to a person because that may not be the, for example, Empire. I can't say that Taraji P. Henson is like that all the time because she does that or this. I mean, she did Hidden Figures. So, you know, you have to be able to separate the entertainer from the person. And I think that's a big thing. And I think sometimes people just get caught up with that.
Is it hard for you to have your own identity on YouTube? Is it hard for you to just, or do they link you with people that you may have had a prior affiliation with? Do you feel that it's hard to just be a separate entity?
I don't. I think you forge your own way. And like I said, I don't. And you just do it. If you're ready to move on, move on. I think people get bogged down in the mess again that may keep them in that space. But I don't think it's hard. You just do it and you just move on. You know, you grow. I mean, that's just like saying, well, it depends on the person, Rebel. This is why I think that I look at, and I know this sounds odd, but I know you're going. I think of singers like Madonna. Madonna is not the person she was when she first came out. She is something totally different because she was able to reinvent herself and not get into a cubbyhole. And I think when you have the wits about yourself not to be cubbyhole, then you can do well and not get into that box. I look at Oprah Winfrey. She came up with the Jerry Springers, the Ricky Lakes, and all of these people. But at some point in time, she said, okay, it's time to move on and do something different. And so I just think that it's really up to the individual, and the individual makes that decision. Personally, I think the individual makes that decision.
Captivating.
Yeah, I agree with some of what Jay Wilson said. Yeah, you kind of got to know yourself, know your plan and your goals. And of course you will, you know, as you grow and, you know, you will meet people and kind of gain relationships. But at the end of the day, knowing that evolution does happen, people do change and grow and want better things. And that's no disrespect to anyone. It's just when you have a mindset and you know what your goals and your plans are, you are always still motivated and pushing towards that goal. And you know, you learn things along the way, and you know, you continue to evolve. And that's just how I view it. Um, yeah, some relationships, you know, flat out, but then some actually continue to grow, even though they may not be as close as they used to be. They still, you know, communicate and encourage one another, just on a different level. But they understand that, you know, and especially dealing with this platform in and of itself is entertainment. So it's like if you're not on here, what, a couple days, people ain't checking for you. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely have to make sure that you're always engaged.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. King Payne?
You know, finding your own niche on YouTube can be difficult, okay? Because everybody gets on here and they want to be successful. You see this person doing this, and you see that person doing that, and it's doing things. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you want to compete, you want to keep up. You know what I'm saying? YouTube is very intensive. It's a lot going on. You know, every time something goes on in the world, it's some, you know, people are moving on YouTube, making videos and stuff like that. So it can be kind of hard finding your niche when YouTube is constantly moving and you're still trying to figure out where you want to go and what you want to do with your platform. So
I agree.
for me, what I had to do is realize that what's for me is for me.
Exactly.
If you guys notice, I don't make a video every time a celebrity cheats on their wife.
Right.
I'm not making a video every time, you know, something is going awry in the world.
Right.
You know, I have to realize who I am. And by doing so, it's going to, you know, make me a better YouTuber in a sense, because it's like now I know what I want, and basically I just have to figure out how to get, because what I want from YouTube is different from every content creator that I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be like Armand, but because I you know, I kind of was blessed into this by him. You know, a lot of people feel like, oh, we should be doing the same thing. And for a while, I thought, you know, maybe we should be doing the same thing. But I had to realize that that's his thing.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Before I got on YouTube, I had already had a thing, and I just need to focus on my thing.
Right. But
you know,
I'm sorry to cut you off. Some content creators though have to realize that too. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody is not attached to you in a way to use you or garner subbies off your back. They're just there because they were entertained by you. Somehow they were introduced to you and they were entertained by you, and that could just be that. Yeah, there are some people who you know, their motive was to get subbies and take them from whomever, but everybody is not like that. Some people just, you know, you built associations, you just built it, but you realize, like you said, what's for me is for me. And you know, everybody
like your own way.
Right. Everybody can talk about the same thing 50 million times, but trust and believe there could be 5 people, there could be 2 people that's going to tune in because they want to hear exactly what you have to say.
And
you know what? They may like how you say it. Right. You may be able to say the same thing, but you say it in a way. You know, people either like you or they don't, and that's the whole thing. You really got to know who you are, and you know, Rebel does his thing. Captivating Christian does his thing. The official, you know, and even though we come together for a common good on the gentleman's panel, all of us are kind of different. And I think that's the beauty of it. And I wish people could recognize differences and get along and keep it moving. But, you know, we are all originals and we shouldn't die a copy. And I truly believe that. But some of us have talents, but you just got to recognize what it is.
But you know, people like
Mhm.
seeing a train wreck a lot of times, Jay. What people don't
Yeah.
realize, they're quick to talk about the numbers and how many people come and watch you. If you have 500 people, if you have 1,500 people, you do know if you're talking about current events that are not about mess, you're not going to have the same numbers. If you're
Correct.
talking about your people, I've challenged people to stop talking about mess and you talk about baking pound cakes, or you walk to the park, or you talking about a workout regimen, or you growing plants. You're not any type of health topics you could talk about, you know, lowering blood pressure, cholesterol, a healthier lifestyle. People are not going to come to you in the same numbers. It's
No.
like they want to watch a fight. So it's like, do you lose yourself trying to make others happy, or do you stay true to yourself?
Correct.
I mean, it's even to the point where when people try to bait you into having a beef or creating a thing, it's like you have to make that choice. Do I step into this for what and for what purpose? But then if you are that concerned about who you are and what you bring to the table, then your next thought should be, if I do engage in this, will that tarnish what I'm trying to do? My goals, my purpose.
And even your affiliations, because when people have said before, Jay, for example, with Jay, when they saw me for Labor Day, I always said I'm a supporter of different houses. I can support the Rider Lives. I got the shirt. I can support Babe Nation, but I've always said that I was my soul. I was Rebel Son. I am not. I'm a separate entity from those two groups. I support each group, but you have to be careful. And I say this as a word of caution to new content creators. If your supporters only like you because of another content creator, they ever get pissed off at you, your numbers are gonna be shot to hell because
Mhm.
the people didn't get a chance to like you. They only like, I don't want you to like me because you just like Jay Wilson and you're trying to like me because of Jay Wilson.
Right,
Like
exactly.
me
Because it's
because you
not
got me no
genuine.
rebel.
It's not genuine.
Yeah,
It's right, it's not genuine. What you're gonna say, Jay?
I think it's important too that people come into your life to help or to hurt you. There's no in between, either to help or hurt. And one thing is, I try to give people a platform, but step out of the way. And if they do well, then let them do well. If they don't do well, then I guess it wasn't for them. But I'm not here to control and manipulate and do those things. And and you're right, Rebel. I think people like a train wreck. I think people want to see someone who is in worse shape than they are because it makes them feel good in a way. They like these types of things, and it's like the Jerry Springer and the Maury Povich show. People watch those because it's drama and it makes them feel good, and it's like, ooh, look at them, ooh, look at what they're doing, ooh, my goodness. And I just think that those shows, get that audience, but you don't grow. And when you stop doing that and try to go to something different, then you find yourself stuck because people again associate you with that all the time. And it's okay maybe to start off with it. And I go back to Oprah again. She did the same things to get the ratings and all of this, but at some point in time she stepped back and said, hey, you know what? I'm better than this, and I need to really start doing something that's really going to help people or change people way of thinking or get them to think deeper. And I think that, the longer you stay in it, the harder it is, I think, to shake that stigma or that persona. And I think people kind of need to evaluate when is the best time to step away. And I think that's the big thing. And I think that's why some people are hurt because they may not have stepped away in a reasonable amount of time. And it's hurt them in the end.
And it's delusions of grandeur because people get this idea that I have 300 and 400 people in my chat and they're like, you know, I got all these people now, and they may have like 2,000 subscribers, and they'll be like, I have all these people, but when you go to their platforms are so toxic, and their affiliations are all people that are very like-minded. Now, how long do you think these relationships are going to last? If you have a lot of people that have this same type of toxicity, people are liking you because of the mess. But when you leave that group, people are going to steal. You can't say I'm a different person. I'm not like them, because those people, you may have affected people in a negative way, and they're not forgetting that. You can say all of a sudden I'm a good person, but a year ago you were posting someone's picture of their baby up on your platform or something, and you can't distance yourself away from that. Wrong is wrong. Don't be a yes man. Be your own person. Have your own identity.
Yeah, and when you set up hate on your platform, people expect you to continue to have that. So when you go to a place like Atlanta and meet up with content creators, and now people seeing that you're having conversations with them, and now it's a problem because you set that expectation of hate and disdain, and people get really confused because they follow you because of this. I think, people have to be very careful. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I started out, in a situation, but at the end of the day, you say, okay, I can't do this forever. And it's really draining. And you say, you know what? I'd rather give people information to help them and to strengthen them and to, think than do stuff that's very, you don't have to think about except the next wisecrack. And, you can only say so much about people that you've already said. So,
And I'd rather be boring.
To move on. And once you get to that, you move on.
But, and it's the thing of people are quick to say, that's boring. That's boring. That's because I'm not salacious. I can do story times and talk about life experiences, and maybe someone can take from what happened to me to use that to your advantage. Mm-hmm. There may be a younger gay person, straight person, someone in a relationship that may be able to get something from what I said. It's not always it's not for you to be messy on YouTube. That's not talent to me. Just being messy is not talent. Have your own, be able to do more than just be, a one-trick pony. Hold on, guys. I got to grab this cord real quick. Guys, I'm going to pose this last question, and I want the chat to participate as well. Now, these 4 people I'm going to give you guys, I want you to think hard, really think about this. Out of these 4 people, you can only keep one. The others, hear me now, because people listen to what I'm saying. These others never were born. They were never born, so their influence would have never changed or altered any part of us as Black people. Mm-hmm. So the 4 people: Malcolm X, Dr. Martin Luther King Sr., Harriet Tubman, or Abraham Lincoln. Out of those 4 people, only one can stay. The others, again, would never have been born. Who do you think would have been more important to us as Black people in today's world? Which one of those would have more of an impact on who we are? Now, if you think it's Malcolm X, press 1 if he should stay. Press 2 for Martin Luther King, 3 for Harriet Tubman, or 4 for Abraham Lincoln.
You okay over there, King?
Well, everybody know how I feel about this. Like, I feel like we've answered this question in different ways on different shows, time and time again. And you guys already know who I'm a fan of when it comes to civil rights and politics and leaders. Okay, on period. Yes. But you know, to the Black movement. Okay.
Okay.
There's some controversy around Abraham Lincoln. Okay. But allegedly, okay, he helped us out with the whole civil rights movement.
So who
and
would
stuff,
you
so.
say, King Payne? You're going. I'm gonna let you go first. Who would you say can only stay? Only one can stay, King Payne.
If only one can stay, I would have to. I'm going with Malcolm X. That's my dog. Malcolm
Okay.
X me and Malcolm X me and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like we just have like a lot of similar beliefs. Period.
Jay.
All of these people are important, but I'm gonna have to choose Lincoln. And I know a lot of people like why, but see, Lincoln signed stuff into law. And if it wasn't for Emancipation Proclamation, we wouldn't have even fought farther. So during the time of Harriet, we were still slaves. She helped people escape, but it didn't give us freedom. Martin helped us get laws passed, civil rights, and Malcolm was radical. But I got to be honest, when it comes to signing things into law, freeing the slaves, even though he didn't want to do it, even though the Reconstruction didn't work as well as it should, it brought freedom, which helped. Even though it wasn't sincere, it was still into law. A war was fought, the Union won, the slaves, with the exception of Texas, was emancipated. And so I would have to say Lincoln because of his power of presidency, because obviously he was Caucasian and it worked. So that's why I choose him.
Okay. Cap.
I'm gonna go with Harriet. And the reason why I chose her is because her only agenda was to free us and that we have freedom, and by any means necessary is what she did. Lincoln, the reason why I didn't choose him, because he made a choice. It was either lose the United States or let me free these slaves to use them in this war so we can win. Amongst other things, of course. But yeah, as far as Martin and Malcolm, there would be no Martin or Malcolm had not there been somebody like a Harriet. So that's why I chose him.
Oh, you're gonna say Martin. Okay, so we got Malcolm,
Harriet. Harriet was my choice.
Harriet, Malcolm, and Abraham Lincoln. I'm going with Abraham Lincoln as well, because even though I feel he had ulterior motives, I'm looking at what happened because of what he did. You know, the ulterior motives to the side. What happened in what?
No, King. He was he was over to the side, so he did what there. It's funny, guy.
But I'm gonna say, what is he doing?
We were just having a
Maybe
kid
I
come
hit
over.
the
I was
wrong
reading
button.
him,
I hit the wrong button. It done took me out.
Look, I think that Abraham Lincoln, all the other people played pivotal roles as well. But if I'm looking at the bigger picture, because even if he did it because of political gain, whatever, I don't care about that. What he did was he signed the proclamation to free us. So maybe another president, we would have gotten freedom, but how after that would we have gained freedom? Will we even be further behind as a group of people now? What if we would have got freedom 30 years after that or 100 years after that?
But even still, even with it signed, Harriet was still freeing slaves, getting freeing slaves
But did she
through the
free
Underground
all of them?
Railroad.
See, but that's the whole thing. But in one stroke of a pen, even though it was on paper, all of those people were free. Where Harriet had to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And what she did was commendable. And I think that all of the civil rights leaders really owe a lot to her and the people in the Underground Railroad, because she was not the only one, you know.
Right.
And what we got to realize is there's always been some conscious white people that were going to help Black folk. So I get it, but what Abraham Lincoln did, even though I don't think that it wasn't
no consciousness. It wasn't. He wasn't woke when he did it.
But if it wasn't for Abraham Lincoln, we wouldn't have half of our schools. As a matter of fact, Cheney and the schools in the school you went to in Pennsylvania probably wouldn't have been existent, because that was all done because of the I can't think not Reformation, but I can't think of the word now. Gosh, it just slips my mind. But
You're not talking about
that act, the Freedmen's Act.
Right.
So if it wasn't for the Freedmen Act and you know, doing what we needed to do, half of these schools wouldn't even be in existence right now for HBCUs. So, you know, I just think that
maybe not. I
don't know. That he did what he needed to do, and you know, and of course, Caucasian people had the power. He signed it into law. It happened, and he did it to keep the Union. There was a lot of ulterior motives. We got to realize that up north, they didn't like Black people either. It just helped us get to where we needed to be. I really do think that King was instrumental with the Civil Rights Act in 1964. I think that was pivotal. Because of his nonviolent stance, we got that, but we had to get somewhere before him. And I think that Lincoln was a big jump. Also, Black people were Republicans because of Lincoln. You know, that you can't deny the fact. And so, yeah, we didn't get our 40 acres and a mule, but we did get at least lip service dealing with freedom.
Okay. Guys, we're coming up on an hour now, a little past an hour. Was there anything else you guys wanted to address before we get out of here? Of any kind?
Well, I just want to address. Yeah, folks said you look real tired, Jay. Yes, I am. I am, and I'll be flying back to Texas on tomorrow. But the gentleman's panel means a lot to me, because we have conversations like this. And so, yeah, so you all just pray with me as I travel back to San Antonio.
Okay. Captivating.
You said that like you was closing out from church or something. That was nice. I was about to say, now let's all get the love offering together.
Okay. The building fund.
Let's get the love offering in the building fund. I felt like I was in church for a moment. What I have going on? Nothing much, really. Just the same old, same old. I'm always watching this president and the salacious things that seems to be happening with his niece coming out with this book that I'm just like, okay, yeah. Girl, where were you 3 years ago when he first you could have first let all the tea out before anybody voted for his ass. So obviously, you know,
she screwed her with that money. Money will make you upset with people. When she found out that her granddaddy was worth more than $30 million, she was like, "Oh no! You done screwed my daddy now?" And absolutely not. But I'm telling you, she was telling the tea when she was spilling it. She was spilling it. Do you understand me? She said Donald's a psychopath and his dad was a psychopath.
Right. I mean, you could look at the father and tell he's a little. Something.
Okay. King Payne, what's going on with you?
Okay. Period. That was the funniest thing that I've heard all week. Somebody in the comments said that I want my 40 acres and a Tesla. Girl, nature. All right. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
With the butterfly.
40 acres and a Tesla.
With the butterfly.
I just drive my Tesla all around. I wouldn't even have to go nowhere, okay? Period. But you guys already know where you guys can find me. Look, I'm revamping my channel, revamping my platform. Everything is changing from everything, okay? Stay tuned. Don't give up on the official King Pain. I have a lot going on. I'm focusing on me, and I'm redirecting all of my attention, okay? So if you want to see what's going on over on my platform, make sure that you guys check me out at the official King Pain, okay? It's definitely going to be a situation.
Okay.
You don't want to miss it. Y'all don't want to miss it. Y'all don't want to miss the come up now. Y'all don't want to miss the great Phoenix Rising, okay? On word.
Right.
All right,
Okay.
great things rising, whatever that rising is. All right.
See, here we go. It wasn't even me.
Right, not this time anyway. But I think that you guys, this was a pretty good show, guys. I think that definitely I had a great time with you all. Again, guys, I want you guys to go and check out ACAF. Again, this is the company, Black-owned business. This is their honey vanilla shea butter. Check them out. They're Black-owned. They're located in Philadelphia. What are you gonna say? What did you say?
No, I said awesome.
Yeah, they're in Philadelphia. They've been around since 1969. But support other people, other melanated people, guys. Also, I've been, doing my writing as well. Now, I ordered this little diffuser. I have one in my bedroom. So I put my essential oils in this, and then, this right here also plays a part if I'm watching a little something on the hub. But I put my oils in here, and I can sleep well, and it brings me to a state of zen-like completion. But guys,
okay.
I fall, baby. I put them oils in there, some lavender, and I fall into a diabetic coma. But guys, the panel, we will be on whose channel next week? Jay?
Nope.
I think it's my channel,
That guy.
right?
The
No.
guy over there. The guy.
It's
No,
lit-
it's
it's
legit.
lit-
Yes.
No.
We're going to California. We're going to
California.
Yes.
Yes, girl. I was like, damn, is it my turn yet? Shit.
So, guys, you
Oh,
right?
yes, I can't wait. I'm excited.
Okay, guys. So,
We're
as well,
y'all.
it's gonna be lit. King Pain, baby, he gets hype. We come on, getting the money's on the floor.
I want to bring Conscious TV back. Tell Conscious TV to come back. Tell her we're gonna have a good conversation next week, and she need to come back. Period.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I think
I liked her last week. I really did.
Thank you.
Both the guests were they had some great perspectives on things that we were discussing. But guys, check out each of us on our own platforms. You can get something different from everyone. Just check us out, like, subscribe, hit that like button on your way out, shine some sun on me. You're always welcome to come to the Sun Tribe. I do my carpool conversations. I'm going to be doing some upcoming interviews as well. Jay, you're doing some interviews coming up, right? Are you going to be doing some?
I do have an interview coming up. It was scheduled for Thursday. I had to push it back because I knew I would be in Florida. But I do have an interview coming up. And I know people are like, well, what is Jay doing? What is Jay doing? But I'm like the official King Pain. Sometimes you got to really look at life and kind of reevaluate some things. But this interview is going to be a really good interview. And I'm excited about it. And I just want to make sure this person is presented in the best way possible so people can really get something from it. So I'm working on this interview. So I will let you all know when it's going on. I will be back in San Antonio on tomorrow. So on Sunday, I will be back to the inspirational service on Sunday. And then on Monday, I'll be talking about current events, things that are happening in a humorous manner, but we're going to have a great time.
Okay. Guys, well, again, peace, much love to you all out there. Be safe, practice your social distancing.
Yes.
Put a face mask on. If you don't have a regular face mask, like I said, find you a jock strap, some panties, something to cover your face. Yeah. But guys, it's been swell. We will see you guys next week on the
in California.
All right, y'all. Peace.
All right, peace.